Welcome to the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan. I'm Norman Bell. The Cobbers used a very stingy defense and a rejuvenated passing game to pick up a 40-3 victory over a very hungry Carleton team. Terry, the defense has kind of been playing with a back-against-the-wall mentality the past few weeks.
They've been just lights out fantastic. I'm so proud of those kids and executing the game plan. Our defensive staff they've got these guys ready, and I haven't seen it like this in a while. I mean, this is the third game in a row where we had 5 takeaways, 4 picks, and a fumble recovery for 6, and it's the third game in a row where our defense has scored. So I can't remember the last time that's happened for our black shirt defense.
Yeah, that's 12 interceptions in the past 4 games. That is remarkable. And I talked to Landon Moline after the Hamlin game, and he said it has a lot to do with seeing the different things during the week and then getting to the game and they're actually happening.
Well, that's just it. We want to put our kids in situations that they're actually going to see, and from first down plays to second down plays to third and short, and we rep, and our kids are seeing it in practice, and they're watching a ton of film. So I'm proud of our staff for putting them in the right position. Our kids are just being playmakers. They don't have to think too much. They're just going out and playing, let their true athletic ability take over, and we're seeing that and then some. But our front seven's done a great job, too, of putting pressure on people so our DBs can go make plays as well.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at those first half highlights from the Carleton game.
A little bit chilly. We had to wear the old stocking caps. There's Dalton, and Dalton's last game with us. He's actually got a doctor's appointment while we play St. John, so we wanted to go out and play really well for him too. And
a nice opening.
The opening kickoff was great. I was so proud of our special teams this week. We really made a step towards the right direction. I thought we went backwards a little bit against Augsburg in some phases of it, but really proud of our kids. There's Chad with one of his runs, and here's Connor Gessel again running one of our blast plays, and then we get the field goal.
I can't remember the number of different ball carriers you had in the game, but it was plenty.
We had 13 different ball carriers, so that's pretty awesome to see. And you get a lot of guys into the game when you're up like we were, and I thought our Gonzos were fantastic. Those guys were making plays left and right all day long. Here's a little bit of quarterback draw, and our kids read it well.
Dylan O'Connor also had a really good
DC had a big game, and all of our black shirts just played extremely hard. And here was a little bit of a fumble between Spencer Ogden and Mike, and we're using a few other guys, getting some other guys some playing time, and our timing was off just a little bit. And there's Alex Berg with another big pick for us. Boy, he's having just a great year.
Yeah, between him and Hank Van Loo, it's gonna be hard to pick a defensive MVP.
No question about it. Those guys, it's been as good as we've had it at the inside. Look at that catch by Matt Conley. Beautiful. I think he got a little bit of love there, but that's his first career touchdown, and what a beauty!
Yeah,
one-handed grab, great catch. So we're up 10-0, and feeling pretty good about ourselves, and get our Gonzos back out there again, and they did their job. Carleton averaged 13 yards. We want to keep our opponents under 20, so we reached that goal this week, and it was good stuff. That's a well played by Sean Paul Guilford. He just really did a nice job, and
quick kick.
A little quick kick, and kind of figured it was coming, but you just never know, and got our offense back on the field again, and here's a little counter play to Jason Montoni. He had some success with that at Augsburg the week before, and he just missed it. Here's
right back.
Yeah, another counter play, and that was the unfortunate thing of the day was we had 3 turnovers, we had 1 pick, and we had 2 fumbles, and that's something that we gotta focus up on that part of the game.
Yeah.
Here's another punt, and a little short, so we didn't get a return. We had 0 punts on the day, and we didn't have 1 punt return out of their 3. Here's Mike on a little comeback route to Conley again, and threw the ball really well. It was good to kind of get that passing game going a little bit here too. There's Dane Ringquist powering in the end zone. He's had a really good year for us too, and we're pretty excited about the way our fullbacks are playing. And then popping it through for a 17-0 lead.
Yeah, and Eddie's been
Eddie's been just,
Dynamite on
yeah,
those,
lights out,
point
you know. Once we just decided on going with the one guy, he's really calmed down, and he's kicking extremely well for us. There's our Gonzos again, just lights out, having a great day. Bad snap, and we had a little bit of a pressure off their left side, and our kids get the safety, and we had to make them kick from the 20. And they kick it out of bounds the first attempt, and then we pushed them back another 5, and we ended up getting the ball about the 40-yard line. So good return by Jason Montoni, and gives our offense a short field again.
And Michael takes it.
Michael takes it. I think this was about a 2-play drive, and Mike cut across the grain, and then uses his strength to get across the goal line. That was another big score for us. And we're through in 26-0.
And they'll run a couple plays before we.
Okay, another kick by Eddie. Did a good job at kicking it pretty deep, and our guys corralled it really well again.
There's Dylan O'Connor again. This was a nice play. His eyes must have been wide open when he saw that quarterback turn back.
Yeah, he came off the edge pretty hard on that. It was good. Good to see. Halftime up 26-0, and we felt really good about ourselves.
What was the message going into the locker room then?
Hey, I thought we were performing great, Norman, all 3 phases, you know, other than a few turnovers here and there, you know, where we stubbed our toe offensively. Our defense was just playing great, and we felt, I mean, it was a brick wall, and those guys were, you know, making things happen. And offensively, we were taking what they were giving us, you know. We ended up throwing the ball pretty well, too, there, got a few scores. And then special team-wise, we were clicking on all cylinders. So it was a great 3-phased effort, and it was just, let's keep it going. Let's get better in the second half. Let's get some other guys in the game, guys that work so hard during the week and that want to get on that field too. And we were able to do that.
That's awesome. When we return, we'll have a look at those second half highlights. Welcome back. Coach, the second half, this all season long, you guys have been preaching finish, 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 finish. Is that something you talked about with the guys?
Yeah, that's just kind of the mentality we've had ever since the loss to St. Thomas. You know, we've been in playoff mode. You know, there's no room for error, and we need to finish and finish strong. And that was our message to our kids again. You know, we're not going backwards. Let's keep going forwards, and let's get some other guys in on this game, and let's finish the way we want to finish.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at those second half highlights. Some of the guys are anxious to get in.
All the
talk on the sideline.
That's right.
Talking about getting in. Yeah.
Staying warm. It was a little bit chillier out, but we opened up with our Gonzos again, and just those guys again. I can't say enough good things about the coverage that we had all day. They switched quarterbacks, and we get a nice pick by Trayton Oswald, and you know, they had moved the ball just a little bit, but we always had been able to come up with that one big play. We get the ball right back. Here's Mike on you know, something we talked about at halftime off our midline option. You know, they were taking away our first read, and we ended up getting the QB ISO off of that. Mike comes out with a little play action, doesn't see it was about a 3rd and 15 by the way.
Yep, that was.
And he, you know, that's tough to defend a running quarterback. You know, it's another guy you have to worry about defensively. Ryan Seahawk with a really nice moves off of blast play here, and here we run a nice pass to Jason Montoni, and he saw him in the seam. It was just a jet route on the edge, and then up the seam by our number 2 receiver, and Montoni reaped the benefits of missed coverage. Here's Eddie Clifton again, getting some really good height on the ball too all day long, and our boys going to work again.
Now your defense come up with a huge play here.
Yeah, Andrew Thompson scoops and scores, and it was funny because we went into the locker room at halftime, and first guy I pulled to the side was Andrew. I said, he had dropped a pick in the first half. I said, don't worry, you know, there was nobody between you and the goal line. He goes, Coach, I'm going to make up for it in the second half. And I was the first person he looked for when he came back, and I was smiling, and we high-fived, and it's good to see. Well, here's our pride quarter, the fourth quarter. This is where we want to finish the drill and do what we do best and go out and make plays. And DC again on the edge making a big tackle for loss.
And like I said, Carlton is a very hungry team. They never gave up.
They didn't give up. They never give up. You know, they're smart kids and they play hard. And here's some guys getting some action too. And Matt By, our backup quarterback, coming in, and they dragged out our option, and he did a nice job cutting it up. And that's the game. It was a good win for the Cobs at 40-3, and another feather in the cap. And now it's time to move forward to the Battle of the Troll, the Lefse Bowl, as they say, with St. Olaf and Concordia.
Yeah, that's nice to pick up a 40-3 win at home. And, you know, the weather was a little chilly, but it didn't really seem to affect the guys at all.
No, it didn't. It was actually a nice day to play. You know, there was a little bit of wind, but yeah, once you're in the grind and, you know, coaching and the guys playing, I don't think they were cold at all.
Yeah. When we return, we'll catch up with sophomore linebacker Alex Berg. I'd like to welcome in sophomore linebacker Alex Berg. Thank you for joining me, Alex.
Thank you for having me.
You guys are having an outstanding year defensively, and you're a big part of that. The linebacking core, I have to say, is probably the best in the MIAC, and you guys go out and bring it every Saturday. What's it like during practice, just, you know, seeing the offense of the team you're going to face? How do you guys make it look so easy?
Well, our coaches have a really good scheme set up for us every week. They give us the answers to the test every week. So we just see them, or we see all the plays that are going to be thrown at us throughout the week, and then practice all week and execute when it comes to game time.
Okay. Now, just get back to you personally. From Moorhead, Minnesota, Shanley Deacon, a couple of state championships. Were you a part of a couple of those?
I won one my sophomore year and then ended up losing my senior year.
Okay.
But I won it with the big brother sophomore year. So.
Awesome. So why Concordia? Did Josh have anything to do with that?
Well, the first one was, still remember it like it was yesterday. Coach Horan was over at our house for dinner one night recruiting Josh, and I came upstairs and he goes, well, I'll be back in 2 years for you. So I don't know, it was a special feeling right there, but
it stuck.
Yeah, and my brother definitely played a big role in me coming here. I mean, it was fun playing with him in high school, and I really wanted to play with him again.
Okay. And as a student, what's the academic environment like here?
It's definitely a challenge, I'd say. It's a lot different than high school. Teachers push you, and it's for a reason. I mean, it's not easy graduating from here, but it's worth it in the end when you get your ring.
Yeah. So what are you majoring in?
Right now I am undecided business major. I haven't really taken that many business classes yet, so hopefully in the upcoming semesters I'll figure it out and get a game plan.
Mm-hmm. And what do you want to do with that after graduating?
Well, right now I'm kind of leaning toward marketing, kind of leaning toward management, so either be a part of a big business or opening my own business one day.
Okay. Now back to football. The defense have 12 interceptions over the last 3 games. You can't do that on PlayStation. How are you guys finding the passing lanes and you know, getting these turnovers?
Well, it's back to what I said earlier. I mean, coaches are giving us the answers to the test every week, and we practice 3 hard days every week and then show up, and we don't see anything new on game day, so just reading, knowing your assignment, and then just making plays.
Is it nice to have a teammate in the defensive backfield with you like Hank Van Loo?
Oh yeah, it's huge. I mean, even when my brother came here, I got to know Hank a lot right away. I mean, hung out with those two a lot, and I was really excited to actually get to play with him. I mean, he's a great player. He's very smart. I mean, Without him, I don't know how it would go. I mean, he influences me a lot on and off the field, pushes me to be my best, and he's a really good teammate.
Is it refreshing to know that you still have a number of years left to play with a very young defense?
I have definitely thought about that, and yeah, it's very exciting. I mean, our D-line is very young, linebackers young, and then we have a lot of defensive backs who are coming back that are young, and it's very young, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds.
Well, thank you for joining me, Alex.
Thank you for
That's
having me.
sophomore linebacker Alex Berg.
And everybody's got to do their job. Okay? Everybody's got to do your job to the best of their ability for 60 minutes. All of us. Okay? All of us. Everybody's role is important.
Welcome back. Joining us now is wide receivers coach John Marsh. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself now. I know you're part of that Hall of Fame coaching staff that Terry has assembled here from the high school ranks around the city. Tell us a little bit about when you started and where you're from.
Well, I'm from the cities that came up here to go to school, Moorhead State. Graduated in 74, coached there at 74, 75, Fargo South, 76. Went to a small school, which was a great learning experience as an early teacher down at Richland, Colfax down there. And then went to South High and back to 78 at South High. Stayed there till I was retired, and that's a long time. So 40 plus years, so been doing this a while. I think Dale and I have been coaching together 39, and Dan and Kostic and I went to school together, so our relationship goes back a long ways.
Okay, and this is your 10th season here, right?
10th season, correct.
Okay, and coaching the receivers in a double slot offense, the receivers have to really get out and block and know how to block, and a run heavy offense.
That's part of the game, you know, and the kids buy into it. We've always had kids that can block here. We've always had talented receivers. Since I've been here, I've had a top end guy starting with Nick Alton to Jake Krause to Riley Salmon, you know, all the way up through Bounty and Zylstra and Mark Whiting. So I've always had that type of guy. So this year it's kind of fun to come out there. And I've got 4 seniors starting that have basically paid their dues, worked their way up. So I've really enjoyed this season, probably more than any other season since I've been here. It's been a good career.
Okay. The last 3 weeks, the offense has really been opening up the passing game a little bit more. I think the teams were really boxing in the run and leaving some passing lanes open for the receivers to, you know, get open, run some good routes and get open. And Michael's been finding them slowly but surely.
Yeah, Michael just basically, he's got a strong arm, and it's a matter of relaxing, putting some touch on the ball. And our receivers, what I tell them, you're going to have to be blocking, but when the time comes, you have to make a catch, we have to make a play. And that's crucial for us. And the kids have accepted that role. They understand, and there's been basically, this is what we're going out here to do. And the blocking has been really good. Matter of fact, probably the last game I thought was one of our weaker blocking games. We've got to get back to the basics and get back after it and block on the perimeter. And I think that's a credit to the teams we've played. They've really kind of challenged us by the way they've pressed in the corners and come inside. And it's been a late, basically, pressure from the outside. And it's we have to go get it.
I understand it. Now, back to former players. Brandon Zylstra, it's got to be refreshing to see a guy come through your program and have the success that he's having, and as a first-year player up in Canada.
Yeah, he's having a success. I'm not surprised. I mean, we expected that. Brandon is super talented. You know, I've coached a lot of really talented kids through my coaching career that played at the big, you know, time football level. He's as talented as any of them. He works at it. It's important to him. It's part of his life. So I don't think you've heard the last of Brandon Zylstra, because I think he's going to continue to improve at what he does. And the adjustments to the game in Canada and that slot receiver position, he's athletic. He's just going to make things happen, and they're going to figure out ways to get Brandon the ball.
Yeah. What are the young crop of receivers looking like so far here?
You know, it's really a good group. We've got kids who are going to have to work hard, but they all have a chance to play, and it's kind of up to them. I'm going to kind of wait and see how they develop. I'm really excited. I mean, we've got several sophomores. We've got Phil Johnson. We've got Austin in there. We've got a lot of kids. Tommy Pavic and Cole Christensen from West Fargo was a nice surprise. So it's going to be kind of define themselves as how they're going to come up. Gus Maker was moved out of the quarterback position, and as soon as he gets a little more consistent, he's very, very athletic. He makes some very athletic catches, which is always nice to see. But they have to block. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Coach. It's a pleasure having you.
Pleasure to be here, Norm. Thank you, Norm.
Welcome. That's wide receivers coach John Marsh.
I think that we're putting teams in predicaments where they have to kind of change up their coverages to kind of cover our routes and what we're doing right now. And I think that we're just running really good routes as a whole wide receiver crew, and I think we're getting open for the quarterback.
Welcome back. Coach, you hit the road this week, head to Northfield, Minnesota, take on St. Olaf.
Yeah, we're excited for this game. They've got a new facility, a new turf, so that'll be good. We've been down there at the end of the year before, and their grass is taking a beating, so we're happy to see the turf. And this is the Battle of the Troll, the ugliest traveling trophy in the country, and it's also the Lefse Bowl. It's kind of a fun week. Our alumni office, Eric Johnson and staff, they're going to come out to practice tomorrow, and they roll up some Lefse for our boys, so at the end of practice our kids get to have a little bit of treat to kind of bring in this game.
Okay.
And then we're always talking about the Troll, and we want to keep that Troll in our hands, that's for sure, and there's a lot to play for. And again, we're going to have that bullseye on our back, and with 2 games to go, we certainly don't want to be stubbing our toe, and looking forward to the trip.
Okay. What type of team is St. Olaf?
Well, St. Olaf defensively will create some fits because they're kind of a 3-3 stacks, a defense that we haven't seen all year. So offensively, it presents some problems to us and some challenges. We're going to have to sit in the war room here a little bit longer and go through our schemes and how we're going to attack them. Offensively, they were going to throw the football. They're averaging a little over 200 yards a game throwing the football, and just under 100 rushing the football. So they want to throw the ball, but they'll mix it up. They're about 60-40 pass to the run. They got a good coaching staff. They always seem to do pretty well within their special teams. So throw the records out. This is the Battle of the Troll, and we all know it. And anything can happen, and we got to be ready to go.
Okay. The Cobbers travel to Northfield, Minnesota to take on St. Olaf with a 1 o'clock kickoff. If you can't be there, please listen at 970 WDAY with Larry Knutson on the call. This has been the Concordia College Football Show with Coach Terry Horan.